casted onto the screen. So I'm going to show you a few demonstrations, a few features that are added or available on your phone. And we also have some logistical features inside of the website interface for SimpleNexus as well. So at any time that something is not available to you in the website or it's not available to you in the mobile app, I will certainly highlight which one it is available in. So you are privy to where you can find these features. As a realtor partner, I've never been a realtor before. I have represented lenders for the better part of my professional career. So I certainly do not pretend to fully understand how you conduct your business, but it is one of my many goals to help bridge the communication and transparency gaps that we have all experienced, in my opinion, or excuse me, in my experience since 2013. Um, and so one of the main reasons why AnnieMac had ultimately decided to partner with SimpleNexus was because it provided that healthy level of transparency between a loan originator and a realtor to ensure that that communication stays linear. One person isn't gaining privy to information prior to someone else having the ability to do some work, things of that nature. So when it comes to a realtor, you are given access to a co-branded mobile app, and you have the ability to manage how that looks aesthetically to your clients. And so there's a second degree of separation between sharing a mobile app to a borrower. So Robin certainly has the tools to share her mobile app, or the website, her point of sale unique link. I'll use, for terminology is kind of overarching, but Robin has a unique point of sale link available to her. She can share, and Robin, I'm only speaking about you in the third person, so everyone understands who I'm talking about. Um, but Robin has a tool belt of different mechanisms and ways she can share her point of sale mobile app to a borrower. So think of just a 1-to-1 ratio. Her borrower would have the ability to register and validate their account and or their identity, complete an application, and then communicate throughout the entire um, uh, you can say like the mechanical process in which a loan is created. So the buck doesn't stop with Robin. She certainly has sales support and other members of her branch that has access to SimpleNexus as well. Where the
Hang
magic
on.
really I'm sorry.
Oh, we are. Okay.
Um,
Out for a second. Sorry about that.
oh no. Oh geez. I'm sorry about that. Um,
No,
so
it's me.
okay. Well then it's your fault, Robin. So where the magic really happens is where Robin gives you as a realtor partner a tool to help facilitate or help create more of a linear process in getting her unique point of sale link over to a potential client with the help of you. But you are not merely the vehicle, you also have access to a ton of features. And quite simply, in order for you to receive a co-branded mobile app from Robin, all you would need to do is ask her. And of course, I'm
Hold
sure
on.
she would be happy to create that co-branded mobile app that you would install on your smartphone. Or, of course, you can always access your account along with any loans that are in progress, statistics, calculations that you can do on the website, which I have casted on the left-hand side. Um, and so, in order for you to have access to that, of course, Robin would have to share it. And then once you have that co-branded mobile app, and you have a client, right, who maybe you put a bid in for a house, you've won the bid, and maybe the borrower is an organic first-time home purchaser, or they haven't done this type of transaction in a while, and they're asking for your guidance. You have this long lasting, very healthy relationship with Robin. You have a great experience experience with AnnieMac, because of course we're the greatest mortgage lender in the country. And you say, sure, borrower, or excuse me, sure, client, I'd be happy to point you in the right direction. I have that healthy partnership with a young lady named Robin. She represents AnnieMac. And you could quite literally do almost everything with the exception of a few documents that cannot be embedded inside of an e-close process right from your mobile phone. That includes taking photos with their phone of their driver's license. They can execute e-consents, borrower certification authorizations, and credit authorizations, which would ultimately support Robin in her process and the tasks that she would need to perform as a loan originator. But that would ultimately give you access to transparency in the process as well. So to get the point of sale link that is co-branded between you and Robin over to the client so they can start doing their tasks and registering. On my smartphone, you'll see on the right-hand side, I have a list of quick links, and right now there's only one, and it's 100%, it's universal, and it says share this app. And so as you'll notice at the top it says Berkshire Hathaway. Now that's just a graphic I pulled off of a really simple Google search. I have a test realtor, Samuel Realtor. He's at the top. He's listed as a partner, and Samuel has the ability to manage the logistical side of his mobile app. So he can change links, he can add social media, he can do fun things
Who's
without
gonna be in the
having
room to
to.
do that?
I'm sorry, Robin.
I'm trying to see who's gonna be in the room that's brave enough to do all that.
Oh, well, it's easy. So everyone can put on their brave hat today. Um, and then underneath of that is my information. So my test loan originator account would be available to that loan originator as well in the event that if you had to get on the phone with me or with Robin, you don't have to search through maybe your contact list on your smartphone or find that sticky note with Robin's phone number on it or have to sift through your emails. You can contact your loan originator right from the mobile app. So it really is at the it's accessible at your fingertips. But in that quick links to share your co-branded mobile app with a borrower, you would click on share this app and you would enter in your client's name. So um Robin, we'll do you.
That to me.
So you enter in the your client's first name and you can enter in their email. So we'll do email@emailtest.com because we don't want to share this with anyone. And a phone number, which I do have a 302 phone number. And then you also have a list of drop down options for who your loan originator should be. You can also add a note about this contact that will be accessible to Robin. So if there's anything specific or special to that potential client for Robin that she should know prior to maybe giving that borrower a phone call, this is where you could add a personalized note about Robin um, to your loan originator, and then you could send the application. And the process from here is kind of out of your hands. It's very much an in the box functionality where we have an email or a text message. There are no SMS rates that apply. This is merely us sending a text message to the borrower. They don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to pay for anything. All of that is absorbed by our partnership. So there's a text message. I also give you the template. So there's never an opportunity. There will never be an opportunity for where you don't know what you're sending out to the realtor partner. You will always know, or excuse me, to your client. So if you want to manipulate or change the template in which that text message is being sent to your client, all I ask is that you do not touch the link. So it's the HTTPS all the way down to the SO at the end of the link. And the reason why you don't want to touch that is because if you do, it will break it. And by breaking it, it won't be accessible to your client and they won't see your information and they won't see Robin's information. So I only ask that you don't change the actual link. But everything else you can manipulate inside of the text box. If your borrower says, sure, realtor, go ahead and send me the link to Robin's point of sale app, and they say, I would prefer to have it sent via email, you just send it via email and then it's already sent for you.
One thing I want to add to that is when you
Yeah.
call me and say, hey, Robin, can you call Susie Q? I'm going into the same exact app and I'm picking Charlie or John and saying, send them the app that has them on it so
Mhm.
that they're getting you along with me.
Yep. If you are more of a website user and you'd prefer to conduct business outside of your personal smartphone, you can certainly do everything that I just showed you on the website as well. So on the left-hand side, you'll select Share App, and you can email the link, you can text the link. We also have a QR code. If you recall, maybe going to a restaurant or a facility where they leveraged QR codes to gain access to their menus, this has certainly become a thing of the future post it, what I like to call the COVID hangover. You have a co branded QR code that is attached to you as the realtor partner and Robin. So if you have a very tech savvy client, and they ask for the QR code, you can say, sure, not a problem. This is it right here. You can download it in the three different levels of size versions. And when your client hovers over this QR code with their smartphone camera app, they can also gain access to you and Robin's unique co branded point of sale mobile app. I know that that was a lot. And then, of course, if you want to do it, a little simpler than that, there's a link right here. You can copy and paste it and send it over. So all of the links that are associated between you and Robin are going to be the same per realtor partner. There's just different ways in which you can get that point of sale link over to the client, and that could really be based on your specifications or their preferences. Totally up to you. Um, you might be asking yourself, how can I see loans that are in progress? It's super simple. So on the website, you will click loans. On the mobile app at the bottom right hand corner, you have 5 graphics that represent the different screens that you have access to. And at the bottom right hand corner, it says loans with a check mark inside of a piece of paper. And so, as long as there are two ways, excuse me, there are two ways that you can have access or gain access to details about a loan that is currently in progress. One is a loan originated or completed by a client, originated from a co branded share. So, in the simplest of terms, I'm the loan officer. Robin is the realtor partner. We have a co branded mobile app together and we share it with Dawn. And now Dawn can see both Robin and I's information. Dawn completes an application, and now both Robin and I can see that information based off of mm, levels of appropriateness. Now, as a realtor, you cannot see your borrower's documents, but you can see what types of documents that they have provided the loan originator. But as the loan officer, I should and could see everything. So that is one way that as a realtor partner, you would gain access or become privy to loans that are in progress is because it originated from a co-branded share. In the event that Robin starts conducting business with a borrower and they say, oh yeah, I'm working with Matthew Thomas from the Harrington Realty group, Robin immediately would think, oh my gosh, well, I have a partnership with Harrington. And I also work with Matthew very closely. She would get Matt on the phone and say, "Hey, I'm working with so and so borrower. I'm going to, but I didn't know that you were working with them. They must have done a Google share or somehow they found out about AnnieMac, and they found me because I'm in the Dover, Delaware office. So I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to associate you with the loan that is kind of already in progress." So that's the second way, which is a little bit more roundabout, but it certainly supports those borrowers who do those organic searches online and find loan originators. And then during really like organic conversations with their loan officers, become privy to that their realtor who is representing them during the transaction actually has an established relationship with the loan officer. So, two ways. And in the event that you know that you sent a client to Robin, but you're not receiving email notifications, you're not getting text messages, but you know that they're in progress, obviously, because you represent them. I would encourage you to give Robin a call. And Robin has a dotted line to me. So as a product manager, it's also my responsibility to encourage and empower my loan originators to feel confident and comfortable using the program. So if Robin doesn't know the answer to the question that you're asking her, she knows that she can connect with me, and we can work through it. And so if you have one of those scenarios where you know that a client is in progress, but you don't see them on the mobile app or on the website, we'll get you access. So you may not have a direct dotted line to me, but you have a second degree of separation from me. So it's also my responsibility to make sure that you feel confident and comfortable using the program that we've given you. Any questions so far, kind of about, in relation to how you're going to get that unique point of sale mobile app out to your clients?
One of the
No?
things that I get questioned on is, oh my God, I'm getting 87,000 notifications
Yeah.
every time somebody opens it. Um, and I know that our phones go crazy. I would say the first question that I think is across the board is there a way to minimize or adjust how many notifications or when they get a notification?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so
I just
as a
made life good,
realtor,
guys.
as a realtor partner, at the top right-hand corner, there's a graphic representing you, and you have a menu that pops out, and the first option is notification settings. And I bump it out into a pop-up, and you can opt in or opt out of whichever notification you want to receive and how you want to receive it. So an example would be if this is turned off. So this is a home buyer has created their account. This is not one that is eligible to be turned on at this moment, but if we see value in adding it, we certainly can. But this one is turned on, so a home buyer has opened their app. So this one, in my opinion, as a realtor partner, I don't need to see how many times they open up the mobile mortgage by AnnieMac mobile app. But if you do, you can manage the relationship between you and your piece of technology by toggling this radio button from on to off. And it's pretty simple. Um, Both the email and app are highlighted blue. If you want to no longer receive this notification via email, you just click it off and it turns gray and it's turned off.
That's pretty easy. Okay.
Yeah, pretty easy.
I didn't know
Um,
that. Thank you.
oh, you're very welcome. If you are using the mobile app, you can't really manage a ton of the notification settings inside of the mobile app. However, I am an Apple user, as you can see. I cannot navigate through an Android phone to save my life. But um, and I'm not sure if this adheres to the Google Play App Store, but if it does, please raise your hand and say yes, so I can absorb that and take it away as
Okay.
a learning opportunity.
So
But when
Google
an
Play is
Apple,
our app on there?
Yeah.
Yes. So
yeah,
it does come up on Google Play. Okay.
oh yes, fully compatible. And
And I didn't
I'll go
understand the
I'll go
question.
into that in a second, Robin. I'll there's an additional layer to that. Um, but as an Apple user, when I install a new app onto my phone, it automatically prompts me if I want to allow the app to send me push notifications. If I elect to ignore that or say no, then it's going to be automatically defaulted to no. If you are a push notification kind of user on your smartphone, I would encourage you to select yes. And any type of notification that you have elected as blue here inside of your website interface, um, that is indicated app, then those will be consistently pushed to you, notifying you that the home buyer has your buyer has uploaded a new document. Um, we and I think that there's a word in here that might be very interesting to a realtor partner. AnnieMac, well, myself, I identified an area of improvement with our milestone notifications. We have a series of events and milestones that, as you all know in your history and your expertise in the industry, there's a ton of them. And our marketing department has a very powerful product that manages those milestone and event based notifications to any level performer, loan officer, borrower, realtor partner. And so I elected to kind of bow out of that process. inside of the mobile app. So the milestones right now are not available. However, I am adding some kind of like, think of like overarching steps that the application will go through that will give you access to an idea of where the loan is and associating that with your scheduled closing date. So I'm a fan of being radically transparent, and I think just highlighting that the milestone update has been reached notification is not available at this time. I don't
You
want you
will
to press
still
it
get
and try to
them,
find it.
like, in your email, when something does, you will get the clear to close notice and everything else not tied to this mobile app as well.
Are you asking me, Robin?
So I was kind of telling.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I was going to say you're going to have to repeat that because I didn't get the whole question.
Yeah, I was just saying that they, we do send emails at
Yeah.
different milestones as
Yes.
well, separate from the app.
Yes. Yes, we absolutely do. Okay, so loans. Earlier, I mentioned that you have access to loan information. I mentioned that you cannot see specific documents that the borrower has provided during the transaction, but you can see the document status in more of a numerical fashion. You also have access to contacts. So you have access to both borrower and co-borrower. If we ever need to add a co-applicant and that impacts your workflow as the realtor partner, you have access to those contacts as well. They're highlighted on the right-hand side of my screen. You also have access to the document status down here. Just want to quickly highlight it. So this in a numerical fashion tells you that 9 documents have been requested from the borrower and they're currently outstanding or unfulfilled. And then there are 10 documents that have been completed for each of these borrowers. There's also like a ticker here. So there's 10 out of 19 have been completed. And that is associated with the record or the loan that you had selected over here to the left-hand side. Inside of the mobile app, you have access to the same information. It's just formatted a little differently. So you have the related contacts. I clicked on a different record. You have the borrower at the top. You have the document status kind of nestled in the center of the screen, and then you also have the related contacts at the bottom. And as the loan goes through, the mechanism in which we build it, you will start to become privy and gain access to additional content as the conveyor belt continues to move. So if you see really basic information, that might be a clear indicator that maybe not a whole lot of events have happened so far. I have 2 more pieces of information that I would like to share with you, but before I go into the um, the calculator tool, I want to give you all the space to ask any questions. Okay, moving on.
Everyone's up to date. Charlie's rocking it.
Oh, good.
John,
Okay,
so who does not have it yet? I know, Kenny, you're using it. Bill, you have it on your computer because you didn't want to play with the phone, right? John, do you have it? You're not, John, Mike, you're not set up, and Rocky. So I'll make sure I get you guys set up as well and send you the links, and then you do email, wherever you're more comfortable. All right.
all right. Okay, so if you are speaking to a client in the very early stages, you already know that Robin is going to be your loan originator because, as I said, AnnieMac is the best lender in the country. And so you already know that you're going to go with Robin. But your client is saying, hey, realtor, I don't, Robin said that I could afford this, but or maybe we take a step, sooner than that. And they say, I don't want to afford more than $800 a month. What kind of houses should or could I be looking at? And you say, I've got this really fantastic tool that helps get us in a ballpark when it comes to talking about monthly payments, and what you can and cannot afford. And so SimpleNexus provides AnnieMac and then inadvertently you as well access to a calculator tool. And there's a few different types, and there's a tool that I have encouraged our loan originators to train our borrowers to use. I have a mindset of being proactive. I don't enjoy having to adopt a reactionary mindset. So if I can save my work to create process efficiencies, I'm going to do it. So in the calculator tool, you and your borrower ultimately would have access to this as well, but you have the access to sit down with them and kind of play around with numbers. And you can save your work at a later date. So when you are corresponding and communicating with Robin, and Robin gains privy to how much the borrower wants to afford, not how much they can afford, she already has an idea on what you're looking at, which would give her a better idea to have a more proactive approach on the products that she would select. So this small little task certainly yields a very high reward. So I'll keep the calculator type at new purchase. We certainly have different loan types. So if you find yourself working with more borrowers that are leaning towards FHA transactions, we have FHA, we have jumbo calculators, we have USDA, and of course, we fully support our veterans. We have home price. So this field is completely manipulative using your keypad on your computer. Or if you want to use this radio button, you can slide it back and forth. So if your borrower says, I've been looking at houses that are in like the 275 home price range. My ceiling, I don't want to go anywhere above 300,000. Then you have the ability to move this back and forth based off of their affordability that they're providing you. If they can afford to put 20% down, you can manipulate these fields by keying in 20%, which would automatically update this pie chart. If you are working with a borrower who wants to put a little bit more down, but they don't want to do manual math. So if they say, hey, John, I have a nice chunk of change, it's my safety net, and I want to use the 72,000 to put down on my the down payment for my home, but I don't know what the percentage is. If you just move this, it updates it for them. And we've even got half points in here. So if they want to do 30.5%, it'll automatically update it. So
Uh,
based off
Do
of the home, go ahead, Robin.
do the borrowers have that calculator as
Yeah.
well?
Yes.
Okay, so they do, but we still want to make sure you tell them the
Yeah.
numbers,
Yeah.
be in their face.
hmm
Um,
Be in their face.
Listen, Charlie has a question.
Hi,
um,
Charlie.
um,
Let's see if I can do this.
Hey,
Wait.
I'm on the app and, when I went to the calculator, it comes up with the interest rate at 4%. Is there a way to set that so that, gee, I put 7.5% in
That's
now?
a really good question.
4%.
Yeah. That is actually something I'm going to have to look at because I do have configurables inside of the system to reflect. I think we are sitting at a global percentage of 6.75, maybe an eighth in there somewhere. But we are interested in raising it up to the 7% to help our borrowers understand that 4% um, is hard to get without um, a hefty charge. Um, I'm
You
gonna
go
have to look
in
at that
on your
because it
app
couldn't
and
it shouldn't
change
say
it.
4.
If you
Oh, yes.
change it in one spot,
Yep.
the interest rate, make it 7,
Right?
and then go back out and, because like mine comes up at 6.5, because I plugged that in once.
Mhm.
So once you change it, it might save it and hold it for you,
Okay.
but I'm not gonna swear to that, so you're my guinea pig.
It shouldn't, Robin. It's something I'm
Oh,
gonna have to take back.
okay, well,
Yeah.
that's enough. There
I
goes my
do have
genius idea.
I do have a global configurable that should reflect, I think, 6 point something. Don't quote me. I will be raising it up to 7%. However, if you have a borrower who has the liquidity to maybe buy down their rate to something like a 4%, this is not set in stone. So you can always encourage them to change it.
Yeah.
Or you can understand how the market is based off of your verbal conversations with Robin. So it's a quick like, hey, Robin, what are we looking at for par rates? She says it's 7.5. You can quickly come in when you're talking to your borrower and key in 7.5. So they have a better understanding of what their monthly payment looks like.
Okay,
But I
here's
need
another-
to take that back then.
Okay, here's another question.
No,
Yeah.
it's just gonna be a lot easier if
Yes.
if when I open the app to figure out a monthly payment,
hmm
if it's at 7% rather than at 4%.
Yes.
So
I agree with you.
I've just done that and, I'll see what happens when I go out and then I come back.
Okay. Let me know what you find. I just tested it. I didn't see anything change, but that's okay. If you have
Came back
so
at 4.
Okay,
okay. These are the basic fields that will yield this pie chart. And if you want your borrower to have access, or if you want to see the amortization schedule, there's a bubble to the right-hand side of details that will give them a breakdown of the 360 year the mortgage term that you've set for them. You can change this to 25, 20, 15, 10 year, whatever Robin has access to from like a lock perspective, or like a 10-year perspective. But you can always give them access, or you also have access to the amortization schedule. On the mobile app side, we will also have access to all of these features. I'll go ahead and change that 4% interest rate to 7. If I have access to annual taxes, I can move this back and forth as well. I can look at the annual insurance at 2250. My borrower says that their FICO score is in between this threshold. Of course, we won't know what the actual FICO score is until Robin pulls credit. We also have monthly HOA, other annual expenses, the state and the county. This information is already added to the mobile app interface, and it's listed as advanced options on the website. So I just want to make sure that if you are going to be a website user with your relationship between AnnieMac and your client, and you want to open up these advanced options, you see them on your phone, but you don't see them on the website, just open up this caret right here that you can expand and scroll down. You'll have access to all of the same fields. So this is very much mirrored. There's nothing available in here that is not available here. So once I add all of the necessary fields that I want to, as soon as I hit calculate, the same pie chart is going to appear for you, giving you a breakdown of the total payment and where those total payments originate from. And back to a little nugget of information about me personally, which was that level of efficiency that I always try to seek out, is I want to save this. And the reason why I like this feature is because my mom just went through the mortgage process, and she moved from Charlotte, North Carolina to Greensboro, North Carolina. And I set her up with a fantastic AnnieMac loan originator. And then, of course, the floodgates opened. And my mother started emailing this loan officer, copying me nonetheless, over and over again about what would my monthly payment be on this property and this property and this property. By the fourth one, I shut it down and I said, Mom, no way. No way are you bogging down my loan originator's email. I don't want you bogging down your realtor partner's email. You have a tool that you can use to see what your basic monthly payment is, with the exception of any additional LLPAs that would come out from the mortgage process with Robin or my mom's respective loan originator. And I said, open up your mobile app, do your calculations, and you guess what you're going to do? At the top right hand corner, you're going to click that floppy disk that we used to all save our homework on. At least I did when I was in grade school. And you or your borrowers can actually save the calculations. And I always encourage the users to save it on the street that the home that they're looking on lives on. Now that it's saved, you or your borrower never have to do this calculation again unless the interest rate or the down payment changes, or you want to add additional features or like additional fields into the calculation. And
That's
so
huge, guys. That's huge.
Yeah, I like that.
I love this tool because it just eliminates the traffic. So you have access to it in the event that you're having verbal conversations. And then your borrower has access to it as well, and they can share it with you. So I just think that it creates like a sense of understanding from an affordability perspective, because as a realtor partner, I've purchased many homes in my day, and it just would have helped if I had some material that I could get in front of my realtor and say, this is how much I want to afford. I'm looking to downsize. I don't want my monthly payment to go over 1,000. I'm willing to put down a very good chunk of change. I just want to give you an idea on the types of houses I'm looking to purchase. And then that doesn't waste your time when you're showing people houses with 6 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, and all of these amenities, where maybe they're not looking for something like that. They're looking for something a little more conservative.
Go back about 30 seconds. I blooped out again. I'm having.
Oh no, I forgot
Yeah.
what was the last thing you heard?
Something changed.
Chunk of change.
I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever it wasn't that important, I guess.
It was, oh, well, I thought it was important.
I think it was.
In summary, I think it helps between you and your clients understanding what they want to afford and the types of homes that they want to afford rather than them just throwing out a number and saying, yeah, I'm looking at 400,000, and then you use thresholds to show them different properties. I think if they have material and features like these that they can save and share to you, they can send it to you via text message, you can send this to them via text message, you can send it to them into a PDF format. There's a ton of different ways that you can help gain a clear understanding. Like, I feel like in 2022, the word of the year is clarity. Like, between you and your client, you are also gaining clarity, and then it is inadvertently giving Robin a healthy level of clarity, understanding where where your client is and where you are in the relationship between affordability. So then Robin isn't like, all right, like, let's do this thing, and everyone's like, no, 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 hold on, like, we're not going down that road today. Um, all right, so everything is also available to you, as I mentioned, into the mobile phone, the mobile app that's installed. But you also have a fourth option to go back and look at those saved calculations, and that is between that. This is on your mobile app between you and Robin. So it'll say, as I mentioned before, I always save it based off of the property that that home lives on. And so I currently live on Eckerson Road in Greensboro, so that's why I chose Eckerson. And it'll save the payment for you. You can always go back and look at it, and you can adjust as needed. Pretty cool. The last piece of material I want to share with you with the last 10 minutes of our time together are the ever so popular pre-approval and pre-qualification letters. I think that this is um, a really great feature that SimpleNexus has provided us, and of course has provided you all as realtor partners. Once Robin does her magic with your client, we're kind of past the association and past the partnership, right? So we're sitting at like a true partnership between like three individuals. We've got realtor, we've got the borrower, and we've got Robin. And Robin, as I mentioned, did her magic, and we're working on an AnnieMac Platinum pre-approval process. And um, Robin goes into either her mobile app, which looks very similar to yours, or her website, and she generates an AnnieMac pre-approval letter based off of the verbal conversations she is having with both you, her borrower, and your client, gains an understanding of what she or he wants to afford or can afford based off of their preferences, of course, and she generates the letter. That letter immediately becomes available to you. There is a setting that Robin has access to give you the ability to lower the purchase price on that letter. If the client and Robin decide, so Robin says, okay, client or borrower, your ceiling as far as purchase price and everything that we've already discussed, your affordability ceiling is $195,000. You can't go anywhere above that. But if you are going to go and look at a house with Tom, the realtor, and it's 185,000, and you don't find it appropriate for the seller or the listing agent to be privy to how much your borrower can actually afford, you as the realtor on a Saturday, you don't even have to talk to Robin if you don't want to. We all love to, but
Yes.
if you don't want
Oh, yes,
to
they
and you want to
do.
generate it and you want to generate it, relatively quickly, you certainly can. Just make sure, and Robin has the training to back this up, but Robin has a setting to allow you to lower the purchase price on any given day that you want to. There are respective and appropriate notifications that go out to Robin and her team to make sure that she has an understanding of what's going on with her borrower, but you as a realtor partner have the ability to lower it. You've got two letters. They'll all be nestled in here, and you can view all of them here as well. We've got a pre-qual letter, and we also have pre-approval. You can lower the purchase price on both of them. You click on the letter, and it's going to show up for you. Gives you all the details about your client, loan amounts, things of that nature. You've got basic information down at the bottom left-hand corner. This, of course, would say all of Robin's information, and it would adhere to your borrower. As long
Mine,
as
we never, ever, ever do pre-qualifications here. Robin doesn't do them. Approved.
Robin doesn't do pre-qual letters.
No,
No.
no, Robin only does.
Pretend this is a pre-approval. They
Okay,
basically
pretend
look
it's
the
a
same.
pre-approval. Okay,
They basically look the same.
I know.
Okay, so we're looking at a pre-approval letter, and this says that the purchase price is what? 195,000, but we're going to go look at a house for 175. I don't want the listing agent to know my borrower's affordability ceiling, so I'm going to adjust the letter myself. It's a Saturday. I don't want to bother Robin. I'm going to go ahead and adjust it down to 175. You can use this radio button, and I can send the request. Now, you are either sending a request to one of two places. If Robin had successfully set the setting that you have the ability, whoops, don't want to lose my phone yet. You have the ability to lower that purchase price without having to interfere with maybe her conversation, or you just need it right away. You guys are going to go look at it on a Saturday morning. It's too early. You don't want to call her. You can do it from the comfort of your own home or even on your phone. Or you are sending the request to Robin. So you're either sending it to technology or you're sending it to Robin. If Robin didn't set that setting for you or failed to remember to, which of course we're all human and we're subjected to forgetting, then you would be sending a request to Robin, and Robin would receive an email and or a push notification if she allowed it to. And it would say, Tom the Realtor is requesting an adjustment to the pre-approval letter. And you have a space to provide notes. Hey, Robin, it's Tom. We're looking at a house at 175. I see she's pre-approved for 195. I don't want them to know that. Can you lower it to 175? Robin, beep, boop, beep, goes in and changes it and generates a new letter. And now it is accessible to you right at your fingertips. You can view the letter immediately. And as you notice, now it says 175 and the loan amount has also changed. So I didn't need to interfere with another human. The system allowed me to generate a new pre-approval letter based off of the home that the listing agent is going to allow myself and my client to go and view. You can do this from your phone too. So I'm going to click on loans, and let's see, do I have a loan with a pre-approval letter generated? Which one was this one? Erika and Matthew. Let's see if this is it right here. Oh, it is. We just did this one. Very much real time as well. If I want to view the letters or request an adjustment from your phone, once again, this does not say pre-qual, this says pre-approval, but I'm going to select view all letters. And it'll say 175, and it goes in descending order based off of the date that those letters were generated. I'm going to click on the letter. Shows you the letter. You have a series of options at the top. You can either view all letters again, which is the mailbox. You have the sharing mechanism where you can share the letter via text or email. You can request changes or you can adjust the letter. We're going to go ahead and adjust the letter right from our phone. We're going to drop it back down to maybe 155. I'm going to send the request to the mobile app to create a new letter for me. And now I have a new letter with a loan amount at 155. Or excuse me, a purchase price, and it also adjusts the loan amount based off of the parameters that Robin has already done most of the work for you. Now you just have access to manipulate it to get your clients into a house.
Pretty cool. Really.
Yeah, it's very cool.
We still want to talk as much as we can. But this means Robin can actually sleep late some mornings.
As far as, materials that are accessible to you, external materials that AnnieMac can provide you to help support you in a way that you have the ability to conduct these types of tasks. We're building those. We do have a few that we can supply to you. AnnieMac has, which I'm sure you've all either become privy to or will become privy to. We have a program, really, it's a program called AnnieMac Works, where we are starting to embed all of our SimpleNexus features, material, products, our next enhancements, what's coming up, in the next few weeks that are relative to your workflow and your relationship with Robin will all be added there and accessible to you. And that includes job aids that are so incredibly granular. You could grab a stranger off of the street, sit them in your desk and say, go ahead and do this, and they should be able to. And if they don't, then we've got a gap and I'll fill it. But as far as the basic necessities of using your either co-branded unique point of sale mobile app that's installed on your smartphone with Robin or your website, that is the conclusion of my demonstration. There are a few other bells and whistles in there. We have some statistics that you can view on your left-hand side toolbar on the website. There are contacts. Contacts to me are pretty simple. They're self-explanatory, and you can view the documents that borrowers are providing Robin and Robin's sales support and operations, like the processors and the closers of the world. But other than that, this is it. I hope you enjoyed it.
Erika, thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's my pleasure.
And I'm sure that as we get deeper into it, people will have questions that I cannot answer. And I will be chasing you down to give us some help. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Erika. You've been amazing.
Oh, well, I'm very happy to help. Any additional, if Robin or Dawn, if either one of you become privy to feedback, I'm always open to them. If there are different features about the product that you see value in me demonstrating more than others, I can certainly adjust my demonstrations to adhere to your needs. For everyone who I cannot see, I hope you enjoyed
Yeah.
the demonstration today.
give
Oh
you a
my gosh,
little-
it's a good thing that I don't have vertigo.
I didn't even think of that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But I look forward to seeing all of your transactions come through. And if you have any questions, of course you have Robin and Dawn to help you. And if, like Robin said, if she doesn't know the answer, she knows who does.
Excellent. Thank you, Erika.
Sounds great.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Stay safe and warm.
Okay.
Bye, guys.